I want you to think about where your mind is right this exact second. Actually, let's start with your eyes. Alan Watts used to point out how absolutely extraordinary the simple act of seeing is. Right now, light is bouncing off the objects around you, passing through the lens of your eye and hitting the dark room of your mind. In that darkness, it instantly develops into the brilliant colors and shapes of your reality, almost like exposing a perfect frame of film. It's pure magic happening inside you right now. But here's the crazy part. Watts says that most of us are completely missing the show. You might be physically sitting here, but mentally, you're probably rehearsing a conversation for next Tuesday, or stressing about a deadline, or thinking about what you need to fix about your life. Watts proposed a radical idea. Most people have never actually been where they are, not for a single, complete moment. Let's talk about why we do that. Watts explains that we aren't stupid for missing the present moment. We're just highly trained. Think back to when you were 2 or 3 years old. A puddle of water on the sidewalk was an entire universe to you. You could sit with a pile of dust and be completely absorbed. You were here. But then the training started. A well-meaning adult told you to hurry up, that it was time to get ready for the next thing. Kindergarten became preparation for first grade. High school was just a stepping stone for college. College was preparation for a career. Your career is just preparation for retirement. Watts points out that we are put on this ladder, and we spend our entire lives climbing, convinced that one day we will reach a magical door that says, "Congratulations, you've arrived. Now you can live." But the door never appears. He explains it beautifully using the concept of a horizon. The future isn't a destination, it's a horizon line. You can walk toward it for your entire life, but because it moves at the exact same speed you do, you will never reach it. Tomorrow is always one day away. When you finally get to tomorrow, it renames itself today, and you just start reaching for the next one. Because we are constantly living for that horizon, we develop anxiety. We feel this low hum in the background, telling us we need to prepare for what might go wrong. But Watts asks a devastatingly simple question about this. Has your anxiety ever actually helped? Really think about it. Has worrying about something ever prevented it from happening? If you are terrified of losing your job or of a relationship ending, your worry doesn't change the outcome. Either it happens or it doesn't. All worrying does is steal the present. Watts explains that you can spend a full year of your life living in a prison made entirely of thought, with walls made of maybe and a ceiling made of what if. If the bad thing finally happens, you've already suffered through it for a year. You paid double. And if it doesn't happen, you completely wasted a year of unrepeatable days preparing for a ghost. Now, here is where his philosophy gets really tricky. Usually, when we hear this, our first reaction is to say, "Okay, I get it. I'm going to try really hard to be present. I'm going to force myself to let go." Watts would laugh at this. He points out that this is the ultimate trap. You cannot try to be present. The moment you say, "I need to learn how to relax," you've just turned relaxation into another job. You've turned the present moment into another horizon you are trying to reach. He compares this to being in deep water where your feet can't touch the bottom. If you panic in deep water, what do? You thrash, you kick, you try to climb the water like it's a ladder. And what happens? You exhaust yourself and you sink. Your panic is the only thing pulling you under. Watts says the only way to survive is to stop fighting. If you let your arms go soft and stop trying to climb, the water naturally holds you up. You float. The future is that water. You don't have to frantically manage every detail of your existence to survive. Right now, your heart is beating and your lungs are pulling in air, and you aren't consciously doing any of it. You are being breathed. You don't have to force the universe to hold you. You just have to stop thrashing. Welcome to the flow. If this helped you find your footing today, subscribe to 5 Minute Flow, and I'll see you tomorrow.